Welcome back to History of Simple Things. Today's topic comes from one of our viewers, John Bamberg, 6848. Thanks for the suggestion. You asked, how do fish breathe underwater? If you've ever snorkeled, gone scuba diving, or simply marveled at a fish gliding effortlessly through a tank, you've probably wondered how these creatures survive in an environment where humans would instantly drown. Fish have evolved astonishing adaptations over hundreds of millions of years, turning what seems impossible into a daily reality. So how do they manage to extract life-sustaining oxygen from water? And what clever mechanisms make this possible? Stick around as we dive into the fascinating world of fish respiration right here on History of Simple Things. The first thing to understand is that fish don't have lungs like we do. They have gills. Gills are specialized organs designed to extract dissolved oxygen from water. While air contains roughly 21% oxygen, water is far less forgiving, containing only about 1% oxygen on average. Despite this, gills are incredibly efficient. They're made up of thin filaments covered in tiny, plate-like structures called lamellae. These lamellae vastly increase the surface area of the gills, allowing for maximum contact with the water as it flows over them. Water doesn't just sit still around a fish, it's constantly moving across the gills, and as it does, oxygen molecules diffuse from the water into the fish's blood. At the same time, carbon dioxide, our waste gas, is pushed out into the water. It's a system that sounds simple, but it's the result of millions of years of fine-tuned evolution. Now, just having gills isn't enough. The water has to move over them in a controlled way. Most fish use a process called buccal pumping, which might sound complicated, but it's basically rhythmic mouth movement. The fish opens its mouth to let water in, then closes it while simultaneously opening the gill covers, or opercula, to push water over the gills and out. Some fast-swimming fish, like tuna or certain sharks, take a different approach. They rely on what's called ram ventilation, where they simply swim forward with their mouths open, forcing water over the gills as they glide. This is why you might notice that certain fish need to keep moving constantly. They can't actively pump water through their gills quickly enough to meet their oxygen needs if they stop swimming. It's an elegant reminder that evolution doesn't always follow human logic. It follows what works in nature. Here's where things get truly fascinating. Fish gills don't just passively absorb oxygen. They're built to do it with extraordinary efficiency using a mechanism called countercurrent exchange. In simple terms, this means the water flowing over the gills moves in the opposite direction to the blood flowing inside the gill filaments. You might wonder why that matters, but it's actually crucial. By moving in opposite directions, the blood is constantly meeting water that has a slightly higher oxygen concentration than itself. This keeps the oxygen diffusing into the blood along the entire length of the gill filament, rather than stopping halfway. The result? Fish can extract up to 80% of the oxygen dissolved in water, a number that far surpasses even our lungs' efficiency with air. It's a design so elegant that engineers and scientists have studied it for inspiration in creating more efficient filters and chemical exchange systems. Not all water is created equal, though. Oxygen levels vary dramatically depending on temperature, salinity, and even altitude. Some fish, like those living in oxygen-poor swamps or high-altitude lakes, have evolved larger gills or more densely packed lamellae to maximize oxygen intake. Others, like lungfish, have developed supplementary lungs, allowing them to gulp air directly when water oxygen levels drop too low. And then there's the bizarre case of fish like the Antarctic ice fish, which has no red blood cells at all. These ice fish rely entirely on the high oxygen content of cold Antarctic waters to meet their metabolic needs, a reminder that nature is endlessly inventive. Even within a single species, gill size, shape, and function can vary depending on environmental conditions, a flexibility that highlights evolution's capacity for fine-tuning life to the quirks of each habitat. You might be wondering, if fish have gills, could they just flap around on land and breathe like we do? The short answer is no, and the reason lies in both physics and biology. Fish gills are designed to extract oxygen from water, not air. When a fish is in water, the gill filaments stay expanded and moist, allowing oxygen to diffuse efficiently into the blood. Out of water, however, the filaments collapse, and the thin surfaces dry out almost immediately. Without that constant moisture, oxygen can no longer pass from the air into the blood. On top of that, the amount of oxygen in air is much higher than in water, but the structure of gills isn't built to handle air. The delicate lamellae simply collapse under their own weight, reducing the surface area drastically. This is why even fish species with high oxygen needs, like tuna, will suffocate in minutes if removed from water. Essentially, fish are exquisitely adapted to an aquatic world, and their incredible breathing system is useless outside of it, making land a deadly environment for them. So the next time you watch a fish gliding gracefully through water, take a moment to appreciate the invisible miracle happening behind the scenes. That unassuming mouth opening and gill flaring is an intricate dance of physics, biology, and evolution, allowing life to thrive in a world where humans would suffocate in seconds. From the incredible surface area of gill lamellae to the clever countercurrent exchange system, fish have perfected the art of underwater breathing in ways we are only beginning to fully understand. Their methods are not just fascinating, they're a testament to nature's ingenuity and the delicate balance that sustains life beneath the waves. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.